So now I read Al-Baqarah 2 and Ayah 142, it is explaining that thing. سيقول السفهاء من الناس ما ولاهم عن قبلتهم التي كانوا عليها قل لله المشرق والمغرب يهدي من يشاء إلى صراط مستقيم. The fools among the people will say, what has reverted them from their Qibla? They were over it. Qibla means front, or they were over it. Say, for Allah is east and the west, He guides whom He wills to the straight path. Now if that person in the audience goes there in their circles and he says, I am different now, I think all I've been learning all my life is wrong and I'm changing myself, I'm different. So those people will say, what has turned you from your Qibla? Who has turned you? What has turned you from the direction what you were on it? So Allah says, they are the fools who are saying this. So Allah says, the fools among the people will say, what has diverted you from the Qibla that you were on it? Because you did not knew the understanding and the essence of the book of Allah. So you changed when you heard the essence and the Spirit came to you. Once you changed, so Allah is telling them, they are the fools. The fools among the people will say, what has diverted you from the Qibla that you were on it? Whatever the ideology you had before, you have changed. So they say, what changed you? So Allah answers, not Muhammad Shaikh, قُلِ اللَّهُ الْمَشْرِقُ وَالْمَغْرِبُ. Say, for Allah belongs the east and the west. Yahdi, He guides whom He wills to a straight path. So when Allah guides people to the straight path, they can never ever remain on their Qibla, their direction of belief. They can never ever remain on their direction of belief, their own ego's belief, their own fantasies, their own fancies. They can never. They will change. And not because of me, it is Allah. He says, قُلِ اللَّهِ الْمَشْرِقُ وَالْمَغْرِبُ. It is for Allah belongs the east and the west. يَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. He guides to the straight path. And first ayat I read, اِهْدِنَا الصِّرَاطَ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ. Guide us onto the straight path. So Allah says, يَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. He is guiding you to the straight path. So whenever you revert to the Qibla, there are no two straight paths. There is one straight path. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. You are asking Allah 5 times a day. I said 4 rakats or 4 units or 3 units or 2 units. In every unit say, Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Guide us onto the straight path. Guide us onto the straight path. So here Allah said, Qul illahi al-mashriq wal-maghrib. These are the fools who are saying that, why did you turn your Qibla? Why did you change your direction of belief? What happened to you? So they will think Muhammad Shaikh did it. No! It is the Spirit of Allah. It is Allah saying it. قُلِ اللَّهِ الْمَشْرِقُ وَالْمَغْرِبُ. Say, for Allah belongs the east and the west. يَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. He guides to the people to the straight path. That's the lecture, guidance. So the guidance comes again when your Qibla changes, your direction of belief. First was, I am repeating again, first was the book, then the Qur'an, then the messenger prophets, then the messenger, then the human being, and now it is a change of direction. You cannot remain on the same direction of belief and recite the ayahs. You have to change, and that change cannot come from by yourself until Allah guides. Until Allah guides, you can never change your direction. You will remain as it is. No matter how 1,000 lectures you listen or read the Quran 100 times. It has to come from God. It is Allah who changed the Qibla direction of belief all the time. It is Him, He is doing it. Now this Qibla of ours is Surah Al-Imran 3, 96 and 97. Inna wala baytin wudhiya linnasi lalladhi bibakkata mubarakan wa hudan lil alamin. The first house appointed for the people that is at Becca, is that at Becca of blessing and guidance for all worlds. Now 5th, 6th is included. Once for the direction of belief, book, Quran, prophets, messenger, human being, and now the house. Look, it says, Inna wala bayt wudhiya linnasi lalladhi bibakkata Mubarak wa hudal lil alamin, a guidance for all worlds. This is also guidance. The first house. The first house, the Kaaba, the sacred mosque, the Masjid al-Haram is also a place of guidance. This ayah, إِنَّ أَوَّلَ بَيْتٍ وُضِعَ لِلنَّاسِ لَلَّذِي بِبَكَّةَ مُبَارَكًا وَهُدًى لِلْعَالَمِينَ. It is a place of blessing and a guidance for all worlds, all times. So if you have got that concept, no matter you are going praying salah, doing qiyam, ruku, sujood and doing tawaf, but you have got this is our second house, this is our second house, first house was Jerusalem house, first house was Jerusalem, because there were 360 gods in the, and people were going in naked tawaf and not nonsense. So this is a place of blessing and a guidance for all worlds. You have to believe in this, believe me, this is a test. Either you believe the history or you believe the ayats. So people say, you don't believe history. I say, you don't believe ayats? I am accountable to Allah. I am accountable to Allah to the day of judgment by the ayats, not by history. If the whole mankind say that there were 360 gods, I will never believe it, idols. Me personally, I don't want to talk about you. Because I believe this is a blessing and a guidance for all worlds. And what guidance I bring? The prayer, the salah, the prayer. How do you pray? They say there is no mention in the Quran how to pray. The next ayah says, Fihi ayatum bayinat maqamu Ibrahim. Waman dakhalahu kana amina walillahi ala nasi hajjul bayt man istata ilayhi sabila waman kafara fa inna Allah ghaniyun ala alamin. In it are clear ayahs, the standing position of Ibrahim. Who enters it attains security, and for Allah is pilgrimage of the house of the people, those who can afford the journey to it. And if anyone rejects, so surely Allah is not needful from His words. I am reading this ayat. It says in the house are clear ayahs, clear ayahs. Ayahs clear. The ayahs that are clear to you is the position, standing position of Ibrahim. Whoever enters in it comes in security. And for Allah is pilgrimage, Hajj, of the house of the people, those who can afford the journey. And if anyone rejects, surely Allah is not needful from His words. Do you think that I today, reading this ayah, it was not read 1400 years back? If it was read 1400 years back, so do you think people would have said there are tawaf is going naked and all this rubbish is going? You are saying that it's a place of blessing, there is no blessing. Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in history is reciting these ayahs. Don't think Muhammad Shaikh came and recited. These are recited at that time. So when it was recited at that time, people have said, there are idols in the house. There is, and another ayat says, وَاتَّخِذُوا مِن مَقَامِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ مُصَلَّى, and take from the standing position of Ibrahim your salah, the prayer. It's in the ayahs. So Imam is there, the tawaf is there, the qiyam, ruku, sujood is there, the hajj was going before Ibrahim Islam. So in the house of Allah, the standing position of Maqam Ibrahim is there, where Imam stands to pray. So everything is there before. We have come here to follow all what is already being done. We don't have to invent anything. When Quran says it is a barakat, it's a blessing and a guidance, I believe. In Surah Tawbah 9:23, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la tattakhidhu aba'akum wa ikhwanakum awliya in istahabbu al-kufra 'ala al-iman wa man yatawallahum minkum fa ulaika humuz zalimun. O you who believe, do not take your fathers, ancestors and your brothers as protectors if they seek to love rejection over belief. And whosoever from you take them as protectors, then they are the oppressors. In this ayah, simply Allah is telling us that if you are believers, so do not take your father, ancestor, brother as your protectors if they are not believers. You have to make a distinction. You cannot take them as your protectors because they are not believers. Now, ayat is addressing to the believers. So he is telling to the people, if their fathers and brothers are not believers, they are rejection, they don't are against the religion, then do not take them as your protector. But you can live them, accompany them nicely. But you must have a separation in belief. Now further in continuity, Surah Tawbah 9:24. قُلْ إِنْ كَانَ آبَاؤُكُمْ وَأَبْنَاؤُكُمْ وَإِخْوَانُكُمْ وَأَزْوَاجُكُمْ وَعَشِيرَتُكُمْ وَأَمْوَالٌ اقْتَرَفْتُمُوهَا وَتِجَارَةٌ تَخْشَوْنَ كَسَادَهَا وَمَسَاكِينُ ترضونها أحب إليكم من الله ورسوله وجهاد في سبيله فتربصوا حتى يأتي الله بأمره والله لا يهدي القوم الفاسقين. Say, if your fathers and sisters and your sons and your brothers and your pair wives and your associates and the wealth to which you are committed and the business in which you fear a slum and the residences in which you are pleased, you have more love towards them than Allah and His Messenger, and to jihad, to strive in His way, then you wait until Allah comes with His order, and Allah does not guide the people who are liberals. If you note in this ayah, there are certain people and certain things are involved. And believe me, every human being have got strong attachment to these categories. Number one, fathers. Who does not have feelings for the father? And sister, your sons, your brothers, your wives or pairs, or your associates, and the wealth to which you are committed. Mean you are committed to that wealth which you have earned already. And the business in which you fear a slum. People say, let me settle down first, then I will look into the religion. Let me settle down. You are busy, you fear a slum. And the residences in which you delight, and the houses, the residences in which you delight, you enjoy the house. You have more love towards them, all these things, than Allah and His Messenger, and to strive in His way, then you wait until Allah's order comes. So these things are to be loved. Remember this, I am repeating. You can love your father, you can love your ancestor, you can love your son, your brothers and your wives and wealth and everything. These are the commodities, or these are commodities, I'm using the word commodity, but they are given to you for love and affection. But in comparison to Allah and His Messenger, and to strive in His way, they should be less. Wallahu la yahdil qawm al-fasiqeen. Allah does not guide who are liberals. How can you, if you are taking the liberty of not practicing, how can you expect Allah will guide you? Allah guide those who follow and believe. So you agree to these kind of, everything that said is right. But I am taking this liberty. At the moment I cannot. And there he goes with his excuse. Anyway, Al-Qasas 28:56 ayah. إِنَّكَ لَا تَهْدِي مَنْ أَحْبَبْتَ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ وَهُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِالْمُهْتَدِينَ. Surely you will not be able to guide whom you loved, but Allah guides whom He wills, and He knows more with those who are guided. Now I read so many relations before, and suppose Allah has given you guidance. In this ayah Allah says, through messenger of course, कि you whom you love, you cannot guide them. إِنَّكَ لَا تَهْدِي. Surely you cannot guide man ahbabta, whom you love. If you love your father and Allah is giving you guidance, you can't make your father guided. If you love your mother, you cannot make your mother be guided on guidance. If you love your wife, she can never, she may, but Allah said, you don't necessarily you can guide your mother or sister or brother, what the relations are at. So anyway, whom you love, believe me, you cannot guide. This is the ayat says, وَهُوَ أَعْلَوْ بِالْمُهْتَدِينَ. Why says وَهُمْ أَعْلَوْ بِالْمُهْتَدِينَ? Allah knows who wants guidance, who are guided ones. You cannot guide anyone. I was telling you in the beginning also, I'm telling again. No one guide can guide anyone. Yes, you can share the message. Guidance comes from these people I told you. Allah, Messenger, Book, Qur'an, and his own sincerity of course. Now there is a devil going on all the time. Now that how the devil plays the role. Surah Zukhruf 43, 36, 37. وَمَنْ يَعْشُ عَنْ ذِكْرِ الرَّحْمَنِ نُقَيِّدْ لَهُ شَيْطَانًا فَهُوَ لَهُ قَرِينٌ وَإِنَّهُمْ لَيَصُدُّونَهُمْ عَنِ السَّبِيلِ وَيَحْسَبُونَ أَنَّهُمْ مُهْتَدُونَ. Whosoever is dim-sighted about the remembrance of Most Gracious, we barter for him a shaitan, so he will be connected for him. And the shayateen will definitely oppose them out the way, and they will calculate that they are the guided ones. Now this shaitan, people, it's very simple. Whosoever, any human being at any time, whether he has read the Quran or he has not read the Quran, or after reading the Quran, he becomes dim-sighted, meaning he is not taking guidance. So Allah says, whosoever dim-sighted about the remembrance of Allah. When I am reading and trying to understand the ayats, I am remembering Allah. So whoever is dim-sighted about the remembrance of Moses, we barter for him, we exchange for him a shaitan, and he will be connected for him. Before I said, the messenger is in you. Didn't I say? The messenger in you. Now shaitan is bartered with me. The message in me, but the shaitan is bartered. Means exchange. And the shaitan will definitely oppose them about the way, and they will calculate they are the muhtadeen. That's the amazing part. The shaitan will realize you that you are on the right track. You are the muhtadeen people, guided ones. Read the Quran without understanding. Allah knows. He will give you sawab. You are a muhtad. 5 times a day, going to the mosque. 5 times a day, go to the mosque. Go to the mosque 40 years, 50 years. Go down, stand, bow and pros. Don't understand, come back. At least you are praying. Allah will give you sawab. Muhtadeen, the guided one. Sit in the taqaf 5 days, 7 days, 10 days. Don't understand anything. Just sit and sleep and eat and drink and sleep and do prayers. Allah will give you sawab. I can tell you number of things. People think they are guided without knowing a word of the book. A word. And once I told him, he said, don't show me translation. I believe the Arabic. And believe me what? He says, I believe innaka, this innaka is from Allah. I believe. Innaka is Allah. Allah says what He says. He knows best, and He knows my heart. He knows what He says. I believe not this. I believe this. Whatever He says is right. Everything is right. Whatever you say is right. Whatever you say is right. I feel in the Quran. This is how people, these things guided. I can tell you number of things. People are so darkness, blind. And Allah says on the day of judgment, people will stand up blind. Because you are blind here. What is blindness? You don't know. And he's so stubborn. And he thinks that he's right, 100% right. This is what shaitan does it. Shaitan he will make dim-sighted from the remembrance of Allah. Dim-sighted, you can't see clearly. And a shaitan will be bartered for you, and then he will be connected to you, and then Allah says He will definitely oppose about the way. What is the way? He will oppose it, and these people will calculate, I am muhtadeen, I am guided ones. Anyway, further, this shaitan now. We are now interacting with shaitan. Surah Al-An'am 6 and ayah 71. قُلْ أَنَدْعُوا مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ مَا لَا يَنْفَعُنَا وَلَا يَضُرُّنَا وَنُرَدُّ عَلَىٰ أَعْقَابِنَا بَعْدَ إِذْ هَدَانَ اللَّهُ كَالَّذِي اسْتَهْوَتْهُ الشَّيَاطِينُ فِي الْأَرْضِ حَيْرَانٌ لَوْ أَصْحَابٌ يَدْعُونَهُ إِلَى الْهُدَى ائْتِنَا قُلْ إِنَّ هُدَى اللَّهِ هُوَ الْهُدَى وَأُمِرْنَا لِنُسْلِمَ لِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. Say, do we call other than Allah? What will not benefit us and would not harm us? And do we turn over our heels after when Allah guided us? As the one whom the shaitan made him desirous in the earth, confused. For him are companions. They call him, come to us towards the guidance. Say, surely guidance is of Allah. Guidance of Allah is the guidance. And we have been ordered that we submit for the Lord of the worlds. Now, in this ayah, I told you when the shaitan is connected to the people, he has got his companions also. Friends, shaitan has got companions, ashaba. Now, this shaitan, Allah said, to whom the shaitans in plural, made his desirous in the earth. People are desirous in the earth. Shaitan has made the people desirous in the earth. Shaitan himself is also desirous because he is desirous in the earth, desireful in the earth. And he's got companies. Company good company, and the people are sitting around looking and listening to them. And this, because of his desires and yes, he also got confused. Because Allah, he was basically an angel, as a separate relation, separate lecture. But once he was thrown out, he became shielded jinn. And now in the earth he is confused also, he is desirous also. And his people who are his company, who are protectors, are saying to them, come to us towards the guidance. These people are telling the shaitan that we will show you the guidance of whom they think they are guided ones. Not on Allah's path, not on Allah's path. According to them they are guided. Before I read an ayah which they think they are guided, so to that they are inviting people that this is the guidance. You must understand, the shaitan and his people think that they are the guided people. And I've explained to anything you think and imagine beyond Quranic understanding is the one will say, I am guided. So they are inviting people, come to us to the guidance. And Allah says, say surely guidance is of Allah, is the guidance, and we have been ordered that we submit for the Lord of the worlds. In all times, people who take guidance from Allah and Allah's ayahs, and they guide their life, are on guidance. And this shaitan thinks in the manner that he is a guidance, and he confused the people also, and the people also are inviting people to guidance without knowing them, without knowing anything themselves. So people are inviting people to guidance without knowing what guidance really is. And Surah Baqarah 2 and ayat 13-14. وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ آمِنُوا كَمَا آمَنَ النَّاسِ قَالُوا وَنُؤْمِنُ كَمَا آمَنَ السُّفَهَاءُ أَلَا إِنَّهُمْ هُمُ السُّفَهَاءُ وَلَكِنْ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ وَإِذَا لَقُوا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا قَالُوا آمَنَّا وَإِذَا خَلَوْا إِلَى شَيَاطِينِهِمْ قَالُوا إِنَّا مَعَكُمْ إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُسْتَهْزِئُونَ. And when it is being said to them, believe as the people believe, they said, do we believe as the foolish believe? Surely are they not the foolish? But they do not know. And when they meet those who believe, they say, we believe. And when they are alone towards their shayateen, they said that surely we are with you, we were just mocking. Now among the believers, if the people are here, so-called hypocrites, whenever the ayahs are researched, they say, we believe. We believe. But once they go to their shayateens, or when they are alone with their shayateen group, they say, we are with you, we were mocking with the believers. When it is being said to them, when it is said to the people, to them, believe, as the people have believed. They say, do we believe as the foolish believe? These are foolish people. Because in the world, the norms or the standard is of the Satan established in the world. Whatever the norms or standards are laid down, what the Shaitan has laid down, you want to become copy like that. You don't want to follow what Allah says. So that is why they say they are foolish people. Nowadays people can practice the Quran. Now it's an old book. It's a book of 1400s. No law can be applied today. So Allah says, when it's being said to them, believe as the people believe, they say, we believe. Do we believe as the foolish believe? They are foolish people who are believing all these ayahs. Surely are they not the foolish? Allah says, surely are they not the foolish ones? They themselves are foolish. But they do not know. They don't even know that we are becoming foolish. We are foolish. And when they meet those who believe, they say, we believe. And when they are alone, their shaitans, with the shaitan, they said, surely we were with you, we were mocking with the believers. So this is the behavior again and again. And we all practice all this. We were just saying, oh, we believe, but actually we are not believing. We are with our shaitans. We were just mocking. So Allah, further in 15 Surah Baqarah 2, 15, 16, Allahu yastazu bihim wa yamuddum fi tughyanim ya'maun. Allah is mocking with them, and He is expand them unjustly harsh wandering. Tughyanim ya'mahun. Unjustly harsh tyranny, wandering. أولئك الذين اشتروا الضلالة بالهدى فما ربحت تجارتهم وما كانوا مهتدين. They are the ones who have purchased straying with guidance. So their business did not profit them, and they did not become the guided ones. Now Allah is describing that when they were mocking, Allah said, Allah is mocking with them. Mocking will expand them in tyranny or unjustly harsh wandering. Who? These people who are mocking on Allah's ayahs and Allah's message and on the believers. So Allah is explaining their character behavior further. They have purchased straying with guidance. Amazing thing. I mean, when you listen to the ayahs, the guidance comes. So they purchase straying with guidance. With the guidance they are being strayed. The guidance is coming, they are straying. The guidance is coming, they are straying. They are straying with the guidance. Whenever the guidance comes to them, except to guide themselves, they astray. They are those who purchase straying with guidance. أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ اشْتَرَوُا الضَّلَالَةَ بِالْهُدَىٰ. With the guidance, they astray themselves. They sit in a place where ayahs are being discussed, understood, but again still they are straying with the guidance. The guidance is being given, they know the guidance, but still they are straying. And their business did not profit them, and they did not become the guided ones. Instead of becoming the guided ones, they are straying with the guidance. They are taking guidance, they are receiving guidance, but straying themselves. With the guidance they are straying. Not that the guidance did not came to them. The guidance did came to them, but still they are straying.